Hi everybody, my name is Catherine Reznicek and I'm here to discuss my final research project proposal for EDL 559, and I'll be talking about news media literacy scales of measurement. They say that getting information off the internet is like taking a drink from a fire hydrant. Well, it's pretty true. In 2016, 4 million hours of YouTube videos were uploaded every day. 500 million tweets were sent every day, and 4.3 billion Facebook messages were posted every day. It can be really overwhelming. With all that information out there, how do we tell what's real or not real? In particular, what about the news that we get? Is it news? 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 Are you kidding? Or even what's being called now fake news. According to a recent Pew Research Center poll, 62% of Americans say they get their news from social media, and 44% of them get it just from Facebook. However, 64% of US adults feel that completely false or made up news is causing a great deal of confusion about basic facts around current events. But 23% of those people admitted to either inadvertently or deliberately sharing fabricated news. But can we tell the difference? Come on. Actually, a recent study by the Stanford History Education Group showed that 91% of high school students and 93% of college students were unable to recognize a biased website. But is it really that important? Yes. An early pioneer in media education, Len Masterman, stated that media education is essential to participatory democracy. So if we want to have informed citizens, we need to have our citizens be informationally literate, and that means media literacy. So what does media literacy education look like? Well, according to Rob Greco and Hobbs, media literacy education is under a big tent with two factions. There is the protectionist side and the empowerment side. The protectionist paradigm is working towards protecting students and that they view media literacy or media education as a way to protect individuals from negative media influences. The empowerment side, however, views media literacy education as a way to empower individuals. And as you can see, news literacy is sitting under the tent in the empowerment section. Current media literacy, especially news media literacy, is still in some formative stages. There isn't any well-defined agreement on what it exactly means, but most everyone in the field agrees that media literacy and news media literacy in particular involves critical thinking, analysis, and evaluation of media messages which are constructed, interpreted differently by different people, and contain embedded values and points of view. For my research, I looked at the following three studies. The first started by developing a news media literacy scale. The second adapted that scale and added additional cognitive models of media literacy. And the third refined the single factor model to find a better fit with a three-factor model for media literacy that looked at authors and audience, messages and meaning, and representation and reality. For my study, I proposed to repeat one of the studies that was done before in order to help validate the news media literacy measurement. I will be using the same research questions and hypotheses as developed in the previous study, looking at how highly news literate teens are motivated, skeptical, consume more news, and are more knowledgeable about current content. I'll also be looking at demographic characteristics described by highly news media literate teens related to their less news media literate peers. I will be using an online survey instrument looking at the following questions, and I'll be working with a population of high school students grades 9 through 12 in a mid-sized Central California county. The expected results should be similar to the previous study. However, the instrument will be modified. One, it will become an online survey versus a phone survey. And two, some of the questions will need to be changed in order to remain current. Also, I'll be relying on voluntary response, district access to students, and there may be a current events influence. However, the need for this kind of research and the need to validate ways in which we can develop media literacy, especially news media literacy, is essential in today's internet and global information society.